Hello, our group is Group 8. My name is Asaki Naruse, and my group members are Megumi Nagaki and Anna Kamei. Our group investigated how to store raw eggs for a long period. First of all, eggs have various nutrients and they are essential foods for people's lives. However, they are often difficult to eat before expiration date. In the fact, I conducted a questionnaire and I asked people if the egg had expired and had been disposed of. Please look at figure 1. This graph shows that the rate of people who had discarded eggs after the expiration date. According to a questionnaire, 55.8% of the respondents said that they had discarded eggs after the expiration date. Therefore, in this project, we examine how raw eggs can be stored for a long period based on experiment. Next, we will explain the outline and results of the experiment conducted.
The following experiment was conducted to extend the storage period of raw eggs in a way that anyone can do at home. Eggs are stored under the following conditions. There are 3 storage temperatures: room temperature, refrigerated, and frozen. In addition, there are 3 directions of preservation: bottom down, bottom up, and sideways. That is, it was stored by 9 methods. According to the homepage of the food company, Fujiya Food, we can judge the freshness of eggs by the following methods. First, eggs are placed in 10% saline. If it sinks, it can be judged to be a fresh egg. And if it floats, it can be judged to be a non-fresh egg. This is because air accumulates in the air cells as the eggs get older. In this experiment, this method was used as a criterion. The eggs were placed in saline every 3 days and examined. When all the eggs used in the experiment on the first day were placed in 10% saline, it was confirmed that all the eggs had sunk. After conducting the experiment for about 1 month, the results shown in Table 1 were obtained. We expected that storing frozen and bottom up would be the best way to keep the eggs fresh, but the result was that frozen eggs floated the fastest. It is considered that this is because when frozen, the shell of the egg broken, and it was impossible to judge by floating it in saline. Considering the result of room temperature storage and refrigeration storage, refrigeration can be stored longer than room temperature. In addition, bottom-up egg is considered to be the most freshly preserved. That is because bottom of the egg has a small hole called the air chamber. Eggs are easier to breathe with the air chambers up. However, at room temperature, eggs of each direction floated on the same day, so it is considered that the storage period of raw eggs contributes more to the storage temperature than to the storage direction. Since freezing increase the volume of water contained in eggs, it is difficult to freeze without breaking the shell. So we decided to judge the freshness by sniffing. We sniffed eggs every 3 days at room temperature. On the 30th day, it smelled rotten. It didn't smell rotten in refrigerated and frozen. Due to the short experimental period, the storage period of frozen eggs was unknown exactly.
This time, in our experiment, the shell of the egg was broken when frozen, and it failed to store raw eggs for a long time. However, we found some papers describing frozen eggs. So I will talk about it from the viewpoint of nutrition value when eggs can be stored by frozen for a long time. One paper stated that there was no significant difference in nutrients between frozen and raw fresh eggs. When frozen, the yolk becomes a little harder by denaturing proteins, but if thawed, it can be used in cooking just like raw eggs. From this, it can be said that storing eggs frozen is useful because they can be stored for a longer period of time and can be nourished as much as fresh eggs.
In summary, eggs is nutritious and the food that is close to our life, and it has a short shelf life of about 2 weeks, and it is prone to decay. According to our questionnaire, more than half of respondents answered that they have passed the expiration date. Therefore, in order to make the eggs last longer with a simple method that anyone can do, we conducted an experiment, paying attention to the temperature and the direction of storage. In the middle of the experiment, the shell of the frozen egg was cracked due to the expansion of the contents. So it was not possible to judge by the same evaluation criteria. But from the experimental result and various paper, freezing is the best temperature to store and bottom-up probe to last longer. About the direction of storage, the bottom of the eggs has a small hole called the air chamber. Eggs are easier to place with the air chamber up, and egg yolk is less likely to contact the shell. Also, the hardness of frozen eggs changed due to protein denaturation. Mr. Takai found that nutrition has no significant effect. It was also found that each frozen egg shell, it can be cooked by normal cooking method. Not only that, the viscosity of the yolk increase, which makes it easier to separate from the white and increase the range of cooking. From this, when you store eggs, it is possible to significantly extend the period during which they can be eaten deliciously by storing them in the frozen and bottom up. Of course, nutrition and cooking methods are not changed. Thank you for listening.